Hello everyone and welcome back. Dear students, today we are going to discuss one more important unit of our syllabus, which is plant anatomy. And before discussing plant anatomy, let us first of all understand the meaning of anatomy. Anatomy is that branch of biology which is concerned with the study of internal structures of an organism. And the study of internal structure of plants is therefore called plant anatomy or phytotomy. Or you can say plant anatomy is the study of internal structure of root, stem, leaves, flower, fruit and seeds of plants. And the further of plant anatomy is embryo. We know that cells are the basic structural units of plants. These cells get organized to form tissues, and these tissues, which are comprised of a group of cells, they in turn get organized to form the organs. And the different organs of plants show differences in their internal structure or anatomy. For example, if you will compare the anatomy of stem and root, it will be different. Stem and leaf, it will be different. Okay. And within angiosperms, the monocots and dicots, which are it is two major groups, they are also known to show anatomical differences. Okay, they are also known to show differences in their internal structures. And studying the internal structures of plants also helps us to identify, to show the adaptations of plants, internal adaptations of plants, which helps them to live in diverse environmental conditions. Okay. For example, one plant which is living in one environment, it will be having different anatomy, and another plant which is living in a completely different environment, it will be varying in its anatomy. Okay. So the internal structural differences, they are actually the adaptations of plants to live in diverse environmental conditions. Now let's move on to the concept of tissues. We will start with tissues. The higher plants have highly complex bodies made up of different types of cells. You do not have only a single type of cell, you have different types of cells in plants. And these cells, they get clustered, they get organized, okay, into groups in order to perform specific functions. And these groups or clusters of cells which perform specific functions, they are known as tissues. Okay. And I have already told you that tissues get organized to form the organs, and all the plant organs, they are made up of different types of tissues to perform different functions. जो plant organs होते हैं, they too are made up of different types of tissues. Okay, and these tissues, different types of tissues in different plant organs perform different functions. So if you have to define a tissue, it is simply a group of similar or dissimilar cells that perform a common function and have a common origin. Okay, it's not necessary that all the cells in a tissue may be similar. Sometimes they may be dissimilar. For example, हम xylem की बात करेंगे. Xylem में there are 4 types of cells. All these 4 cells are not similar. Okay, they are different, but they have the common origin. Okay, I will repeat. A tissue is thus defined as a group of similar or dissimilar cells that perform a common function and have a common origin. Okay. There are 2 main types of tissues in plants, and these types are delimited depending upon whether the cells being formed are capable of dividing or not. 2 तरह के टिश्यूज है प्लांट्स में. ओके, एक को हम बोलते हैं मेरिस्टेमेटिक टिश्यू, एंड द सेकंड वन इज नोन एज परमानेंट टिश्यू. Meristematic tissue is that tissue in which the cells, individual cells, they are capable of division, and permanent tissues are those tissues in which the individual cells have lost the power of division. Okay, today we will focus on the meristematic tissue. The meristematic tissue, it comes from the Greek word, meristematic comes from the Greek word meristos, which means divisible. Okay, so it is a group of or cluster of cells which remain in continuous state of division, or they retain the power of division. If you have a group of cells in a plant and that group of cells is having the power of division, it is capable to divide, that tissue is known as meristematic tissue. And the meristematic tissues divide and form new cells which give rise to permanent tissues. यही meristematic tissues ये division करते हैं because they have the power of division. They divide and give rise to new cells, and these new cells, they get differentiated. They form the permanent tissues. Okay. Now some characteristic features of meristematic tissues. The meristematic tissues are comprised of cells which are round, oval, or polygonal in shape, and these cells are compactly arranged without any intercellular spaces. जो meristematic tissues होते हैं उनकी जो individual cells होती है, they are round, they can be round, oval, or polygonal in shape, and these are compactly arranged. There is no intercellular space between the cells. Okay, and they possess a thin and elastic primary wall which is made up of cellulose. Another feature is they possess a dense protoplasm with many small vacuoles and large nuclei. उनका जो nucleus होता है that is large, and they possess a large number of small vacuoles. Okay, and these cells do not store reserve food material in them. And the meristematic cells in meristematic tissues, they do not divide in a random fashion. Instead, their plane of division is particular. Okay, it is specific. They divide in a particular plane. Okay, they do not divide randomly. Instead, they divide in a particular plane. Okay, इसका मतलब ये है, if you are having a meristematic cell, if it is destined to divide this way, okay, it won't ever divide in this way. That means their plane of division is specific. Okay, it is genetically determined. This is all for today, and in the next part we are going to discuss the different types of meristematic tissues. Till then, stay blessed and thank you.